Don't stop.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining me on the Everything and Anything and a Bit Gay podcast. On today's show, I have an American recording producer, songwriter who goes by the name 6'5". He's produced music for artists on Broadway, Emmy-winning shows such as Drag Race and The Voice, and a Netflix original series. He's worked mostly in the LGBT community with artists. Welcome, Carson, or 6'5". What do I call you?
6'5" is great.
6'5". Great.
Yeah.
First of all, my question is, how old are you? Because you could either be anywhere between 18 to 55 in today's gay world. So I don't know. How old are you?
I'm 21. No, I'm 29. 29.
Oh, you look great. So
oh man, thank you.
Good for you. So tell me, I have a lot of questions about your whole career, but tell me how you came out and when you came out and what happened with your family. Were they cool with it?
Yeah, I really sort of lucked out in a way because I was an early bloomer. I came out when I was 14.
Okay.
And I came out to my brother first, and then I came out to my dad, my mom, and then my sister, all in that order, and not in any particular order. It just so happened to be that was the way it went.
Yeah.
They were really chill with it because I think putting on Dorothy ruby slippers when I was like 4 or 5 and wearing my mom's bridal gown sort of gave him a hint that he may not be like his brother who's playing G.I. Joes.
Yeah.
So it wasn't really a shock. It didn't really send a shockwave. I think they were just like, oh, okay, now's the time. We're doing this now. All right. So
where did you grow up?
Chicago.
Okay.
Chicago. I grew up in Lincoln Park, and then I moved up to Winnetka to attend New Trier for high school.
Okay, cool. So you lived in a liberal city for the most part, and liberal state, and so I guess you weren't the first gay person they met overall.
No, and my mom was a news anchor, so she'd been around a ton of queens.
Okay, cool. So you just got back from Fire Island, and what were you doing out there?
Well, surprise! I'm actually still out here.
Oh.
I know I was going to be back today, but I'm still out here, and I've been working with a DJ named Joey with the Mustache. We've been working on a track together, and I've been helping him work on his mixing and teaching him a bit about music production. And he's been teaching me about club remix formulas, and we've just been sharing knowledge about music back and forth, which has been really, really, really cool. Very mind expanding. In a very, unforeseen way, and we turns out we both love film score, which I didn't realize until we started really working closer together. So it's been great. I'm still out here. I head back later tonight.
Okay, cool. How was it for Memorial Day weekend?
Busy.
Yeah.
Busy. Oh my gosh. I mean, it just like party after party after party, and it's great. I mean, I took 2 years off of coming out here, and I'd been coming out here since I was like, I think 21, and I came back for the first time last summer for a couple of days, and then this summer I was only planning on being out here for a week, but now I've been out here for 2 weeks already.
Yeah.
And coming back here, I'm just like, oh yeah, I missed this. After 2 years of not being here, so much has changed, but there's still so much that has stayed the same.
Yeah.
And seeing it over Memorial Day weekend, it's like everybody is just happy to be here, and they are happy to be around people who are happy to be here. So it's been wonderful. It's been really, really great.
I lived in New York for on and off for 17 years, and my husband grew up in Long Island. And the weird thing is that I've never been to Fire Island. Isn't that weird? As a gay man, I go to Provincetown every summer in the Cape, and so I just booked my trip to go out for Labor Day weekend, and my first time I went was 2001, and I've taken a few years off here and there too, because it becomes too much after a while, and you're just like, oh, it's the same old shit, the same old queens out here. And but I have gone for New Year's before, and I've gone in the summer for 2 weeks and 1 week at a time. But now I live in Boston, and it's so much easier to get to because you can just take the ferry there. So
I know. I love Provincetown. I mean, I spent 2 summers going there, and then I would be there off season as well. So I'd be there in like October, November, December. I spent a Christmas out there.
Yeah.
I love Provincetown so much.
Me too.
Oh my God.
My goal is to live there. I have a couple of friends that live there now year round, but I would like to do it 1 year round, just to kind of like experience it. Even though I think I may by February want to jump in the ocean and leave. But yeah, I don't know. I think I just would like to try to do it just to reset myself.
You can always go to Sal's. If you ever feel like jumping into the ocean, go to Sal's.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's like the saving grace. It is. I. That is absolutely a goal for me as well. I mean, Provincetown is so special. It's really comparing apples to oranges, and I hate when people say that because I don't really know entirely what they mean until I understand. And like I use the terminology myself, but it is very like Provincetown is it's a town.
Yeah.
Fire Island feels more like the boys' camp I wanted to go to when I was in the closet as a kid.
Yeah.
And there's no cars, so there's no commercial street. You have to go through the meat rack to get to Cherry Grove, and Cherry Grove feels more like Provincetown in terms of like that community, downtown area. I mean, both have my heart, but I do really love Provincetown.
If you had to pick between the two, where would you, like, if you had to, like, you were offered a place to live free of charge, a big, nice house for a full summer, where would you go?
Provincetown.
Okay.
Sorry. No, I mean, I'm not sorry about it. I love Provincetown so much. Because Fire Island to me sort of, I get like Las Vegas syndrome in a way. Where it's like the first couple of days I'm like ready, and then after a certain point I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what day it is. Yeah. And it's like a time warp. But Provincetown, I'm always like, everybody knows it's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah. And it's you get more into a routine in Provincetown. So I could absolutely, if I had to choose, I would choose.
And we would go with like 10. Well, we started off going with like this. We would go with these 2 friends that we would go to every summer together, and then the group ended up getting bigger, and then we got rid of some people out of the group and brought others in, and we ended up like, I think the last time we went, there were 10 or 11 of us total, and it was just like so hard. And we don't all stay together. We all stay at our own places. Like when I first started going, whenever I didn't have any money, whenever you're, broke, starting your career, we would share a house or whatever with people. And now I'm just like, I can't share a house with anybody. So now we get our own house, and we see everybody throughout the day and for dinners and stuff. But it's hard to like arrange reservations for 11 people for dinner in Provincetown. So.
I don't know where you go. Where do you go?
I mean, I have to like call and beg at all these restaurants, and I'm the planner of the group, so I plan everything.
Girl.
I plan it all. I plan what shows we're going to see. I plan what night we're going to which club or bar. I plan the restaurants and brunch or whatever. I plan it all, and I just like, that's why this Labor Day, it's me and my husband and my friend Greg, and he's inviting a couple of his friends. Love. And I'm not inviting anybody I know other than Greg. And Greg's going to introduce me to his friends, but he can do all the planning. That's how
good. Yes. Good. Oh my God. It's going to be, Labor Day weekend out in Provincetown. Oh.
Yeah. It's amazing. That was my first year was 2001. And the only reason I remember that is because like it was Labor Day weekend, and then I went back to New York City, and then like a few days later 9/11 happened. And I'm like, oh my God, like I just had the best Labor Day, and I was downtown during 9/11.
And now this happens, and you're in the middle of it.
I was working down there, and the World Financial Center. And I'm like, okay, well, that's all a distant memory, Provincetown. So,
Oh my God. Wait, you were like in the middle of all of it.
yeah, we were there. I was working for Merrill Lynch at the time, and the first plane hit, and we had to like look up out of the window because we thought it was a commuter plane, and then I don't know, however long it was, 15 minutes later, a second plane hit, and somebody runs out of their offices. A missile just got sent into the second building. I'm just like, I'm out. Because they told us to sit at our seats. They're like, don't leave your office, don't leave, sit down, don't go outside. And when the second plane hit, I sat there for a few minutes. I'm like, hell no, I'm leaving. Bye, I'm out.
Bye. Oh my God, thank God too, because after like a couple of hours, it's impossible to get anywhere.
Yeah.
And they shut everything. I mean, there's those historic
everything
photos.
was shut down. I was living in the Upper East Side. I had to walk home in these bad dress shoes, and I mean, I'm complaining about dress shoes when people were dying, but it was just like, it was so horrible. But people were on the streets helping each other and just like walking with each other and all this stuff. Anyway, let's get into a better topic than that. Let's talk more about you. Was your family musical?
That is yes, they were. I mean, I don't know why I have to think about that, because my mom is very musical, and she was very adamant about exposing all three of us, my brother and my sister, to music at a young age. She put me in piano.
You grew up playing the piano, right?
I did, yeah. I stopped when I was about 8. I had this Russian piano teacher who scared, I don't know if I can swear on here, so I'll just say...
You can say whatever you want.
Yeah, it scared the fuck out of me. I mean, she was like... she was terrifying, really good, but very scary.
Yeah.
And so my mom put me in piano lessons, got me into a musical theater, and it really clicked for me. It didn't quite click for my brother. It clicked for my sister. And my dad is a classic rock guy, so we would grow up listening to, everything from like Bon Jovi to Fleetwood Mac to the Eurythmics, and so we really grew up with a very broad, exposure to different genres of music.
Yeah.
So even though my dad doesn't really sing, and my mom is a good singer, but she doesn't really sing too often. It's a very musical family. Very, very well versed, and we grew up very exposed to different genres and different bands and artists, and so very much so.
So you create different types of music. What type of music do you love to create?
It's a very good question. I mean, I've always said that I live artistically between, bouncing back and forth between my love of film score and then pop music.
Okay.
It just depends on my mood in terms of what I love to create. If I'm feeling super emotional, I'll either write a ballad or I'll, compose a whole string piece that's like 3 or 4 minutes long.
Yeah.
It just depends, but generally I really like to create music that has something that has to be said. Artistically I'm very dramatic. Like it's either a life or death scenario for me, and if I don't have to how do I say this? There's times where I'm like, I need to get this out and I need to say it and release it, or I'm going to die.
Okay.
And there are times where I'm like,
yeah,
I'm feeling this way, but I don't have to say it. And the times that I'm like, I got to release this, I got to put it out. That's when I go to the keys and start cooking. And I love working on music like that. I love working on music with artists who have something that they need to get off their chest and something that they feel like is really important to say. And so I don't know if that's a very abstract answer to your question.
Yeah, no, that was a good answer. Yeah, and tell me how you pick the artist, or how do they pick you for the artists that you work with?
I'll sort of, in a way, I'll like investigate a bit and see if first of all, if our genres match, you know, because I focus mostly in synth pop music and, you know, incidental music. And there are just other producers that can do other genres much better than I can.
Okay.
And I'm not going to be like, yes, I can do this for you, and I'm going to charge you X amount of money. And I'm going to be like, this is not an area that I am well versed in, but I can recommend you to somebody who I think might be.
Yeah.
So first it's a genre check to make sure that we vibe, and then it's really, we talk, we meet, we see how we get on, and I know I've been really lucky with working with the artists that I have, because there's been really no egos. Everybody just checks any ego at the door when they come in, and we work, and I just don't have time for that.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have time. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
I don't care what you've done. What I care about is making music and what we have to say and what we're working on.
Yeah.
You know.
And how did you get started? How did you get involved with RuPaul? Because that's a pretty like awesome project to work on with all the different queens that were on there.
Oh my god! And it's so much fun. It's so much fun, because all these queens are so okay. Their knowledge of pop music is encyclopedic.
Yeah.
They're multi-talented, and they're so witty, and so sweet, and so excited. Every single one of them so excited to just be there and be creating. That it's been one of the biggest joys of my career and artistic life so far. I'm so grateful for it. I ended up getting connected and started in that through a drag queen out here in New York. We worked together, and that was in 2020, and we released a song, and the song got out and sort of spread a little bit like wildfire, and then I started getting messages from queens who knew her, who were on Drag Race, and then that started sort of this like branching out effect. It was really cool, very organic how it happened. So that's really how it all started, from one song that turned into an album with this drag queen, and then it just started spreading, and yeah, it was great. It was really, really great.
Was there one of the queens that you loved working with more than the other?
No.
Or who was your favorite, I should say? Who was the one that was like, oh God, I love this one? It's
so hard, because they're like, and I mean this in the least condescending way, they're all like my, like, art that we do together is like my children, and like all of them are so different. I mean, talk about apples and oranges, but they all bring something different to the table, and it's such a tough question, because all of them are so, they know their brand so well, and they know who their persona is, they know what they're selling, their marketing skills are superb, and it makes my job super easy, because I can visually look and see, and then be like, okay, I have a sound that'll match your aesthetic. I can't give you an answer. All of them have really amazing, memorable moments for me.
Awesome.
I wish I could. I wish I had some hot tea for you, but
yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back in a minute, and we're going to ask 6'5" a few more questions about his songwriting process. So we'll be right back. Hi, everybody. We're back with 6'5". Thanks so much for taking a minute for that. I want to ask you a question. In your profile, you said that you're a sober artist. So tell me what that means to you. And because there's California sober, there's yours totally sober.
Sober.
Yeah. And tell me why you chose to be sober.
I chose to be, I mean, It was more. It was like it was a necessity. It was like the universe being like, you had your fun, and you had lifetimes of fun in 10 years, and you got to really step it up. And it was starting to interfere with my relationships with my family and friends. And I remember somebody saying to me, "Look, like, if you're not careful, you could lose everything." And I almost did. If it hadn't been for my sister, who set up an intervention for me, a secret intervention that I did not know about, which I guess you don't really know.
Yeah, you don't know about. Yeah, got it.
And I agreed to go to rehab, and this was when I was 27. And girl, I really had my Britney moment. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Went to rehab, got sober, got in the rooms when I got back to New York. And I was really always one of those artists that was like, a tortured soul, or self-branded tortured soul.
Yeah.
That was always, writing, whether it be like poetry or music when I was drunk or high. And at a certain point, it just turned into garbage, and looking back at things that I was working on for myself, and I wouldn't do stuff while I was drunk with other artists because I was very careful not to, very, aware of keeping it separate. But like listening and reading back to stuff, it's so dark and it's so sad. And then creating now from a sober headspace, enough time has gone by that I'm super clear-headed, that I can feel everything at 100%, good and bad. But I'm able to create from a much more organic place. It's not a high or a low. It's not filtered. It's not glazed over. But it's very raw and it's very real. And it's like almost like a we were talking earlier about how like having to create from a need of expression, you need to say something. It's almost like when you have a heart to heart with somebody sober versus when you have a heart to heart in the line to the bathroom drunk. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's very much how sort of my art has translated. It's very pure and very raw, as opposed to like something that just like, I was in a mood and, I was drunk and need to create.
And is it alcohol and drugs, or is pot part of that too? No gummies or pot?
No. Pot makes me super paranoid. Okay, I used to be a big stoner when I was in high school, but as I got older, I think probably when I was like 20, I stopped because it started to make me really paranoid. Yeah. And then it was a lot of alcohol. It was a lot of pills and then opiates and and that it was just a downward spiral from there. I mean, opiates started when I was 23, 24. It was 2017 when it happened. Because I had gotten jumped and fought back and fractured my hand, and then they put me on oxycodone.
Okay. Yep.
It was like from 2017 to 2023.
Well, good for you for going. I mean, good for your sister also for doing the intervention, and she's saving your life and your career. I mean, that's pretty awesome. So
yeah, I'm very lucky because it doesn't always happen.
Yeah, it doesn't always happen. I want to ask you about. I read that you think that there should be an LGBTQ artist category for the Grammys. I love that idea. There should be.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry at all, but there really should be. I'm so tired of we're already so underrepresented.
Yes.
And you're going to have us, go up against everybody else. I mean, there's so many other genres of music, like, it's
Yeah,
if you
give
look
us
back,
one award. One. That's all.
it's for real, honestly. And the fact that it's 2025 and, we're still being, put up against some of these major artists, and we're not given any outlet to be recognized or awarded. It's like we're like destined to lose. I mean, major labels are already so, dodgy about signing queer artists. I had an artist, I won't disclose any information, but was in talks about being signed to a major label, and was told that if he wanted to be successful, he had to go back in the closet and take down all of his social media.
And did he do it?
Nope.
Okay, good for him. You know what? There was a guy that I seen an interview with that was being approached at the same time Shawn Mendes was. I don't know if maybe that's not the same story, but he said no also to this label. And I think it was because they did not want him to come out.
It tracks.
And he said that if I would have taken this, I could have been in Shawn Mendes' place at this point, and he's nowhere near that now. But he's still happy that he didn't give up his true identity to do that.
Me too. I'm happy for him, because I was listening to Shawn Mendes the other week, and I was listening to In My Blood. Do you know that Shawn Mendes song? Where
I listen. I love it. He's on my list. I have a list.
Me too.
I have a hall pass list with my husband.
His song "In My Blood." I mean, it's like just take her home. It isn't in my blood. I'm like, girl.
Yeah.
It's clear as day. Oh
yeah. I mean, he's basically said at this point he's gay. So,
yes.
And,
he's like, I'm still figuring it out. I'm like, good for you, girl, but that's gotta be a bird cage to live in. That's gotta be a prison to live in. But the fact that it's, the fact that we're not given any sort of chance to win, whether it be, the major labels are like, oh, it's not marketable, there's not an audience for it. And it's like, well, maybe there would be if you gave us more of an opportunity to be celebrated. I mean, Drag Race has what? How many? I think
they're 18th season or something now.
I mean, it's so clear how mainstream and how marketable it is. About queer art and queer music, and how big of a fan base and that level of stardom, how possible it is to reach that height. And I think we're in the middle of right now the music culture shifting. You get Chappell Roan, who's,
I know, I love her.
Me too, and she's really calling out things in the culture that are not acceptable. And photographers and I think we're really starting to see things shift, and I'll be very curious to see about where things go. I foresee things changing for the better, but I don't know how far away we are from major labels actually welcoming us in, and awards like the Grammys, giving us our own category, so we have an actual chance of possibly winning and getting more visibility.
But the straight white guys are going to want their own category if that happens.
It's just like, I'm like,
yeah. What's your music writing process like? Are you one day inspired? Do you meet somebody that inspires you?
For my own, for like music under 6'5", or like as a producer?
Both.
As a producer, I get a lot of inspiration from the artist. I pull a lot of inspiration from the artist. Sometimes I'll get this thing where it's like tunnel vision, where I will like see and hear everything, in my head before it happens, and then I'm like, okay, I know exactly what I can bring to the table and what I want to do, and then I'll show them, and they'll usually they really love it, and it really resonates with them. I sort of take pride in being able to read artists and people pretty well like that. But I pull a lot of inspiration from the artists themselves, their taste in music, because and that's one of the joys too about having been able to work with a lot of drag queens, is that we all, and queer artists in general, is we all really speak the same pop music language, and it's not to. I've had artists, queer artists that I've worked with be like, I worked with another producer and he didn't get it. And I was like, was he straight? And they were like, yeah. And I was like,
yep. You need your own people.
If you say Britney Spears as a reference, he's going to Google, and, there's a difference between Blackout and, Hold It Against Me. Yeah. So you gotta get really specific. But for myself, it's really just when lightning strikes, and I've gotten to the point where I'm really good about being able to tell when something is coming through the creative channel that has to be put down, because it all sort of downloads really quickly.
Okay.
And I'll hear it, and I'll get to the keys and start mapping it out, and then before you know it, it'll be, I'll be halfway through. Yeah. I mean, I did this last album I did called Body Erotica. I did it in 6 days.
Wow.
It was crazy. It was the first track was one day, that then got turned into 2 tracks, and then 5 days later I had 7 tracks, and it all happens very quickly like that. So I don't know if that answers the question.
It does. Yeah, it does. And I also seen that you've done some acting, or you're an actor. What do you like that? Do you like doing that? I feel like you're so musical, though. I feel like that's where you belong, just from reading about you and watching some of your stuff and just talking with you for a half an hour. I feel like you are so musical, and I feel like that's where you belong. But what do you think?
I mean, I loved acting. I loved the music. I loved acting in musicals more because of the musical element, and I was really lucky. I was, sort of artistically, not sort of, I was really artistically raised on Kander and Ebb, Stephen Sondheim, some of the greats of musical theater, and the depth of their writing and songwriting really spoke to me and translated into my own creative process. And I think that's part of where I get my you have to create, or I believe that you should create from a place of having to say something, like a life or death thing, is because I remember when I was acting, it was the stakes were always so high in the scene that it was like, this character needs to sing this song, otherwise they're going to die. That is it has to come from that place and be pulled out of that place. And I've really carried that with me through the rest of my career in any sort of art form.
Yeah. Who's inspiring you now? What artists? So Chaperone you mentioned and stuff. I'm listening to all her stuff now. Who's kind of on your playlist? Who's in your Spotify playlist right now?
I'm very fascinated with Tate McRae.
Okay.
I'm really going back, honestly, into, I'll go between pop music and film score. Right now, Johan Johansson, if you know, the composer, and checking out his early work. And Tate McRae, I'm like keeping my eye on, because I'm very interested in seeing what her career trajectory is going to be like, because she was really slept on for a while. I remember first hearing about her in like 2018, 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And just now it feels like she's getting, her flowers.
Yeah.
But then, people are also coming for her, being compared to Britney Spears and so on and so forth. I mean, you know how people love to pin female artists up against each other at all.
What do you think about Britney right now? Because I mean, I'm like, she's okay. Yeah, I know. I want her to get help though. She's so awesome, and I really don't want her to be that artist that we're like, oh, she was so great.
Oh, I know. I mean, all I'll say is it's very telltale signs of using a substance that is very stimulating and really makes you crazy.
Yeah.
It's very telltale signs. And, it makes me think about the Free Britney movement and...
Maybe they shouldn't have freed her.
Was it a good idea? We were very for it, but we only had the information that we had. But now we've.
I don't know. She's spinning around in all her videos over and over again. I'm just like,
I'm like, well, I'm like Britney, spin, do your thing, girl. I love it.
I do too. But like, she's dying to show her puss and tits. Like, she's dying to show them. I'm just like,
well, and the injuries too. Like, did you see the post at the Chateau Marmont? Like, like the she'll go in and out of like weeping and then being serious and like with it, and then weeping, and then I'm like, I think her who was it? Kevin mentioned something about meth allegedly.
Yeah.
At one point, and I'm like,
yeah,
I see it. So
yeah, well, I'm hoping. I seen something where she was like, oh, she was in New York and she was working with somebody on something new. But I'm like, is she though? Because I don't know if she could at this point. Like, I feel like she needs to go to a good rehab for 6 months and before she can do anything.
I know. I just want her to be okay. I know what it's like to be a victim to your own mental stuff, but I don't know if she's like, I need music to, free my soul, then do music. If she's like, I need music to make money, then I'm like, do what you gotta do, but make sure that you're good here and here first, because she's had a rough go of it.
Yeah.
Rough go.
If you weren't doing music or acting, like you never got into this at all, what do you think you would have been doing?
Oh, I think I would have been watching over people as an angel. I don't think I'd be here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I can't see me doing anything else.
And are you a New Yorker now? Because you were in LA for a while. You go back and forth, I guess. So is New York your home?
New York's my home. I've been there for 11 years now.
Okay.
I've gone out to LA a bit. I only really started going out there in 2023. But I love LA. I don't know, but New York has, I always say it has sticky fingers. Every time I've tried to leave, something's come in where I'm like, okay, well, I've got to postpone my plans of, maybe packing up and moving to a couple months away, and then something else comes in and there's another reason to stay, and I'm like, okay. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm a true New Yorker yet, although I do love my Italian New Yorkers and, native New Yorkers. I don't know. I think
you seem more New York than LA to me.
I think at heart I'll always be a Chicago boy, but who loves a big city. Chicago boy who loves the the Big Apple.
What do you have coming up that you would want people to know about and to look out for?
I have a Pride EP coming out on the 5th.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's EDM. It's 2 tracks. The EP is called Good Boy, and there are 2 tracks. One is called Good Boy, and the other is called Don't Stop.
Okay.
Very minimalist in terms of production, but it's similar to Body Erotica. It's pushing the 2-minute and 45-second limit that we so often have on pop music nowadays. It's like, I think they're like 4 minutes each, but it's really just the only lyrics are Good Boy and Don't Stop, and that's all I say on both of them. And it's really just for music to enhance your experience in whatever you're doing. It's fierce. I'll say it's very fierce electronic music.
And if you could work with any artist, and I'm talking like major artists, let's just stick with major artists. You could work with a Beyonce or a Madonna or a Britney that's not on meth or whoever. Who would you pick? And you don't even have to it doesn't have to be those 3, but somebody major like that.
Kim Petras or Troye Sivan. I really love both of them.
Yeah.
I really love both of them. And I love what they're doing. And I love what they do. And I love that they push the boundaries. And I love that they, create outside of the box. And I love that they touch on topics that I think a lot of people don't explore, in terms of sex and music and, slut pop and Rush, like, that's what I'm here for. Like that's the music that I love. So,
So I have 2 more questions for you. One is, I need a new song for my podcast intro and outro. Any of your songs would be good for that?
I can check what I have in the can.
Even if it's something that's already out there, if you give me permission, I would give you credit every time.
Let me look when we're off for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then my last question is, my viewers are going to so this is on YouTube and audio, but people that are watching the video are going to want to know: are you in a relationship or not?
No, I'm single.
And what is your type? And do you want a relationship at this point? Also, that's probably the most important question.
Do I want? I think if the right person came along.
Okay.
I don't know. I date guys that are like 5 to 10 years older than I am usually.
Okay.
It's always been a thing. Muscles, I'm like, give or take.
Okay.
But pretty face, good intentions, puppy dog love, puppy dog eyes. Oh. Yeah. Somebody who wants to be there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to be pulling all the weight.
And they don't have to be in the music or acting industry, right?
Please don't be.
Okay.
Like maybe in like 5 years that'll change, but for right now I'm like,
yeah. I may have somebody for you, so
ooh.
I'm going to send him this interview. He is. Are you really 6'5"?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he's not anywhere. Well, he's probably 5'11", so he's short. I guess, does height matter?
No, I've dated my first boyfriend in New York was 5'9".
Okay.
5'8", I think. He said 5'9", I say 5'8".
Yeah. So my friend Greg is such a nice guy, and he needs somebody. So first of all, I'm going to tell you that I love you as a person, and I don't even know you, but you have such a good vibe and a good energy about yourself.
Thank you.
And you would be part of my friend group for sure if I lived in New York, or if you're in P-Town and Labor Day weekend, let's meet and I'll take you to dinner because
oh my God, I would love that.
You're definitely my people. I can feel the energy about you.
I feel the same.
And so maybe I'll I don't know if Greg would be for you, but I have a couple of friends. I do have a friend in Boston who would be perfect for you. But he's in Boston, and he's probably 6'3", maybe.
They made the Amtrak for a reason.
Yeah, and he's got his shit together. He just bought his first house in Boston. He's really cute. I will DM you on Instagram or
please
email
do
you his profile, and if
please
it's a
do.
match, because I think you would be his type. So I think he's 29 as well. So
work. Perfect.
Yeah. His name is Matt. So
Matt, let me know.
I'm not going to say his last name.
No.
I don't want anybody to steal him from you in case.
I know they're going to slide in his DMs, and I'm going to be like, oh,
yeah.
God damn
and
it,
the
Zach.
thing is, though, if you guys make it, you or Greg or you or Matt make it. This is the deal. I just need to make a speech at the wedding. That's all I ask.
Deal. Done. Because this is where it all started.
Yeah, this is where it started. That's what I tell all my guests whenever the ones that I want to set up. That's all I ask is a speech at the wedding. So.
Done. Deal.
Okay, cool.
You have my pinky promise.
Okay, cool. Well, I think you're an amazing person, and I'm so glad I got to interview you. And I will put your website and all your Instagram and stuff in the description of the podcast. And anything else you want to kind of make sure people know about you before we drop?
No, this has just been so lovely. So thank you so much for having me, Zach. And I love what you're doing as well. And I've so been looking forward to being able to have this conversation and talk about these things and be part of your artistic journey. And so thank you for letting me have that, and thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're awesome. So everybody, thanks, and be sure to go to 6'5's website, check out his Instagram, check out YouTube. I'm going to put it all in there. So just go to the description of this podcast or this video, and it will all be there, and check it out. Thanks so much for being on.
Thank you so much, Zach.